Well, here we are, November 1st, just about ready to leave, and we've got everything packed, got our trekking in Nepal books, got our bags ready to go, and just getting the last minute bits and pieces together, getting the notebooks, getting the melatonin tablets, getting all that stuff. Well, next time we turn this on, we may actually see the mountains for real. Well, here we are, Singapore Airlines. Oh, there's the nice Singapore lady, Singapore Airlines hostess. And we're just about ready to get on here, a couple of minutes. Singapore Airlines, waiting for Bill and Carolyn Klein. Bill and Carolyn Green, and then we'll be off. Well, after a very long trip involving delay in Frankfurt, we're now approaching Kathmandu, and we're getting our first look at the Himalayas in the distance. Very impressive. Be up around there in just a few days. I don't know what that one is, but they're all pretty impressive. Clearly see from here where the plateau just raises up.
Please declare the amount at customs. Thank you.
We're at the Swayambhu Buddhist Museum, but we're right at the temple, and there's the big stupa.
It's one of the oldest stupa here in Nepal.
And the symbols?
Symbols, eyes painted in 4 directions. That's a Buddha's all-seeing eyes, and nose like a question mark. That means identify or know yourself. And you can see yellow painted arches, on the top of the dome. That's to represent petals of lotus flower. And on the top you can see the circles, 13 circles, that 13 layers of enlightenment or 13 heavens in Buddhist philosophy.
And at the very top
pinnacle
represents
stage is
Nirvana.
Nirvana, enlightenment stage. And in the niches of dome you can see prayer wheels. The Hindu and Buddhist temple side by side. It's more symbolical in Buddhist.
There's the Hindu temple.
Hindu as well as Buddhist, that's a Harati, and local people call Ajima, which means grandmother. And the goddess is for the smallpox.
And they come,
Goddess of smallpox.
and the
popularly
smallpox, so
known-
the mothers bring the children right here.
Yeah, yeah. And especially parents, you know, they will come here for the good health of their children.
And here we also see some of the monkeys running around.
Some monkeys, right? Some monkeys here, you know, just nearby the temple site.
And this big temple here is for Bhutan.
Monastery for the Bhutanese people. This one is one of the oldest monasteries here in this area. The people of Bhutan. So they practice singing a song, meditation right here in this monastery.
The Nepalese flag, yeah.
Two triangles. And the flag is a symbol of victory also.
What color is it?
So the red and the border is the blue, and moon and sun on the top, moon then sun.
And next to this there are some birds on top of the
Yeah,
post.
pigeons, lots of pigeons.
Peacock.
Peacock.
Not peacock, peacock, yeah.
And that is,
Vehicle of Buddha. Each direction there is one Buddha, and each Buddha has their one vehicle. Like we have cars, so peacock is the vehicle of the Buddha of.
just like the sign says, we can see the Kathmandu Valley here stretching around us. This monastery, this stupa was built in the very center of the Kathmandu Valley, which unfortunately now is fogged over or smogged over. And normally you could see mountains in the distance. And in fact, you can see some of the hills over there. But you can't see Everest or any snow-capped mountains, today especially. And in front of us is Kathmandu city. Our hotel is somewhere in this densely developed area. And to come up here, you can imagine there's a nice steep set of stairs. This is another view of the top of the stupa. Inside this dense area is supposed to be in a golden casket bones of Buddha. And this is the one of the two most important monuments to Buddha in Nepal. Buddha was born in Nepal, and the other important stupa is in his birthplace. What I'm looking at now, what we're looking at now, are the steps going down, which we'll take off the top of this. Here's a selection of some of the souvenirs that can be purchased here. A nice selection of masks, metalwork. These are the prayer wheels, which can be used to rapidly disperse prayers by hand without saying anything. People walk around and flip these prayer wheels. You can see the same shape of the big stupa reproduced here in stupas dedicated to some of the high priests. They all have pretty much the same design And right below the dome, on all of these, there are miniature Buddhas, and each Buddha on each side has, on all of these, has their hands in the same position, and these there are five actually hand positions, and by knowing which one is associated with which direction, travelers can figure out what direction they're going. This is south, and of course the monkeys are all over here. And here's a little one, a mother and baby, no respect. You can see why this stupa got the name of the Monkey Temple. I mean, during the also during the 50s and 60s, there was a the American hippies found this area, and they used to sleep here and smoke hash. And in the 50s and 60s, hashish and marijuana were legalized here. I guess that was a reason that the hippies were attracted, and they would gather in this area especially. Well, we're just about halfway down, and it's quite an impressive visit. And this is a good flight of stairs. Now, a big advantage here, there's a handrail. When we get up to the mountains, no handrails.
No, Tibetan Mecca.
Tibetan?
Yeah, Tibetan.
Are you a Tibetan man?
Yeah,
No.
Tibetan.
Yeah? This is one stand of many stands on this pathway down. You can see people coming up. There's some more carvings over here. These are carvings in stone. And Tap 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 Man down there, he's doing some of the work. And his finished work is right over there. Well, we just left the stupa. We're some distance from it now. An area that's a lot more developed. We're getting towards the center of Kathmandu. There's Gailey. There you go. And here's the audience. We're visiting the Tibetan refugee camp here. This is a complex. There are about 1,000 refugees making rugs. And we're going to go into the different areas, and if possible, we may be able to buy a rug. Obviously, this is the weaving center.
Repair it. So it's
Here we're in the weaving room now.
This carpet is popular, and there are different qualities. Like 60 knot is a very normal quality. 80 knot good quality and 100 knot super quality. So you can identify the private quality just looking the softness and looking the picture of that side. So right here there is three quality. And you see, if you see the same picture,
She's doing two things at one time. She's praying and singing and weaving.
working, he's weaving at the same time.
Here's their showroom, filled with carpets. The money for these, from the sale of the carpets, goes directly back to the refugees.
And there's a Tibetan flag over there. Rising sun with stuff to snow.
Well, you can figure it out. Gail wants the one at the bottom of the pile. You can see that. And this lady, she weighs about 80 pounds. She's flipping these rugs around as if they were nothing. She's very strong. Well, what do you say? I know we have two nice carpets here. They're the choices. And then we can have this big one made in a smaller size. Okay. We're now down in the Palace Square of the one of the three cities that make up the Kathmandu city. And this is Pattar. This is an old palace. And if you look closely, you can see some very beautiful carvings. These are from the 17th century. There's a tremendous amount of detail in some of these wooden carvings. There's a lot of bustle here, as you can see, and a lot of souvenirs being sold. And in the same courtyard, there, which is, as you can see, multi-purpose. There's a restaurant here, and souvenir salesman here. And what are these women doing? These women live here, and they're farmers, and they bring the rice in from their fields, and they're drying the rice in the courtyard here. And this will be taken out of this area after it's dry to be ground and sold. Right opposite this area where they're drying the rice is a special source of water. This water comes from the Himalayas. It's running all day long, and people use it for washing, drinking, cooking, everything. This is right next to the palace walls. This is the inner courtyard of the palace, and this has been renovated after following some earthquakes, and it's now used as a museum. Our guide pointed out some of the very fine wood carvings in some of these windows. We can get a closer look at some of these. Across the street from this palace courtyard, there's a very beautiful pagoda temple. The pagoda is noted for some great pornography or erotic sculpture. Some of this will take a little time to figure out, but you can take a guess at what's going on here. Here's another one. And here's yet another. This one shows a woman working to her right while her friend is behind her to her left. In this case, we see a horse has found himself a special friend. This is a very beautiful stone-carved temple, and our guide told us it was carved out of a single huge rock and then reassembled here. It's a temple to Vishnu. And although it's a temple and it's important, there are all sorts of domestic things going on here. People are doing each other's hair. I don't know what they're checking out for. There are children playing around it.
Naked.
There's some naked kids. Where is he? There he is. He and his sister. This is more activity around the temple. You get a scope of the whole image here. This is more, that's the doorway I took the photographs, the tapes from. There's great hustle and bustle right off this palace square. This is not touristy, this is all local items being sold. And here's our favorite photographer. Schoolboys. Traffic. Great intensity. There's more of the same. That's a common sight, the little taxis being propelled by little motor scooter-like engines. I don't want to ignore the reality that in the midst of this sort of third world hubbub, we have the ever-present satellite receiver. This is just across the street from that busy little market. Get a good view of the palace square. I can pan around. And get an idea of the hubbub. It's like Gail found herself a little friend. Oh, she shook her. We're in Bhaktapur now, having traveled down that highway from Patan. And again we see the rice farmers wives working on the rice. We're right outside the palace, and we'll be going inside there in just a moment. There's a field or a side of a hill that's been converted into a rice processing area right next to the people's houses. On a good day, there'd be the Himalayas would be over here. Here we have a little guy who wants to be a star. There's the official welcoming sign. Welcome to Bhaktapur. This is one of the 3 cities that makes up Kathmandu. This is another hustle bustle area, lots of tourist shops, and also things for the local people. And this is the entrance to the palace. We're in the inner courtyard of the 55-window palace.
Of Bhaktapur,
Bhaktapur.
the city of devotees.
And very beautiful windows.
All wood carving of 18th century.
18th century.
Is dit het huis met de 55 ramen?
Ja.
Nou, zie je maar.
No, in there. Around.
All around, not one side.
Ja.
Waar is dingetje? Kom zie binnen.
Now art gallery.
Nou, die art gallery. Ja.
Gaat binnen?
Well, we're going to go inside now. That's the very top of the tallest Hindu temple in Nepal. We're in the center of Bhaktapur still, in the palace grounds. And as you can see, this is very well developed for tourists. We just came from seeing a series of shops selling this Thangka painting, which is one of the art forms here. This is a Thangka painting, and the detail is remarkable. The real good ones are finished with gold and silver. You can see the fine detail. These are depicting Buddhist themes. So this whole square, how many people live in this area?
So here is the 40,000.
40,000, and in this area, there are no,
Here and the other area, whole area.
and in this area that's no vehicles allowed.
Yeah.
So people are all getting around on foot and by bike.
Yeah.
And for special reasons, they can have a car.
Yeah, only the local residents and during the emergency period, they can take car here.
Okay, we're here bright and early, 5th of November, waiting for our to get clearance to land in Lukla. And you can see Gail standing there with Bino, our guide. We're gonna have a good time, Bino? A little excitement last night and not too much sleep, but we're ready now. Well, we just landed. It was an extremely exciting landing. Plane is still in one piece. We bounced around. The views around here are spectacular. I'll turn around and you can see them. We're surrounded by trekkers coming and going. This is Lukla. All around here there are trekkers waiting to get on the plane. Sometimes today. Sure. This gorgeous mountains from around here. Welcome to Lukla, gateway to the Mera Peak area of Makalu. Takeoff, they're really going downhill, and in fact in about 5 seconds the bottom drops out. That's where we came in. He's airborne. That's VSTOL, very short takeoff and landing. This is the main street, I think, in Lukla, and these Sherpas are carrying amazing loads. The blue one that just got eclipsed on the right there, that has both our duffel contents loaded in there. Notice his shoes, they're flip-flops. Yaz Kata. This is a small town, a little village or stopping place. We just stopped here so I could change my my get-up, put on or take off my jacket, and there's a little stopping area. Down in front of us, some stone irrigation works. We're going downhill now, unfortunately, because eventually we're going to have to go up. Up, 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 up. There are little friends, very curious about our pack, huh? Oh! We're about an hour and a half from. Huh? I had to get out of the way because this porter. It's a good example of what these porters can carry. They're really impressive. Anyway, we're about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Lukla. And we're about ready to take a break. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see the cloud formations all around that are spectacular. More traffic. These are yaks carrying camping gear, and the yak driver. And I almost got run over by a yak train. And these are coming down from where we're going. Great! The coast is clear. We're going to be taking this little trail down around that bridge. Now the bridge is going to be some fun because it's a little bit of a suspension bridge, but not too bad. And we're going to find lunch in one of these three places. See? High altitude, and I can't count anymore. Then the trail continues right around here. This has been typical of our trail up till now. It'll probably get steeper. Up on the left corner there, you can see where some people are living. Well, this is the beginning of our second day on our trek. We're about halfway to Namche. I'm standing on a wooden bridge, and the porter is now kindly shaking it. This is right outside our guest lodge, the Namste Lodge. Nancy Lodge is typical of the guest lodges around here. They're mainly small, and they can house about 40 people, and the center of activity is eating. This is the sunroom, and inside there's a dining room where we had dinner last night. Everybody's getting their act together right now, ready for their day's trek. Here's a little sleeping room. As you can see, totally disorganized. Sleeping bags and stuff all over. But what do you want? Of course, that's an extra 100 rupees. That's $1.50 over the cost of the meals. Well, we're here halfway up towards Namche at the Manju Guest House and Tibetan restaurant, and absolutely gorgeous again. Right in back of us, we can start to see the snowy peaks of the Himalayas, and here's some of the people who stopped. Some of these were at the guest house with us this morning, so we have some trail partners. Here's some cute little children. They're all over. And this is a typical quality of the trail. That is typical quality in certain places. This is actually very good. Here come some more people down the trail. And on the trail we'll see all sorts of people, all ages. It's really remarkable.
On the way back,
we're about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Namche Bazaar, and we're started to gain altitude sharply. We started way down there, actually well before there, and perhaps you can see trekkers, and we followed the river, gaining altitude all the time. We crossed over the river, which you can see here, on this nice, friendly little suspension bridge. And the wind was blowing. And from there, we had to take a pretty steep trail. And you can see people coming up the end of this trail right here. This will give you an idea of the footing here, the type of trail. It's rocks, it's stones, it's steps, it's people coming down with big loads of odd sizes. It's very challenging. And from now on, for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, we have uphill. Over here, we have our tired Gail. How we doing, sweetheart? You're smiling. You look good. And our guide. Our guide has friends everywhere. Yeah. Day 3 of our trek, and we've reached Namche Bazaar. This is daybreak, and the town is first coming to life. In front of us is our lodge for this evening, a little upscale from last night. They actually had a hot shower, which I greatly appreciated. This is Namche, sort of built into the side of a mountain. And this steepness is a good indication of the kind of hiking we had to do to get here. This is a view down the valley that we had to come up, and Gail and I agreed that it was absolutely the toughest day hiking we've ever had. Another view of the sun coming up. That was one of our friends we met yesterday. How long did it take you to get up from where we left you? 2 or 3 hours?
Three and a half.
Was it fun? It was great, wasn't it?
We did it, and that's what was great.
I was thinking of you all the way up because you're 80 or 30-pound packs. How you doing?
Doing okay, actually.
Do you sleep well?
Pretty well. Woke
Yeah.
up around 4 in the morning.
Oh, great.
But,
That was refreshing.
Huh? So it wasn't so bad.
That's right. We went to bed today. We had 4 good hours of sleep.
4 good hours, and then
Starts in the distance.
Far back one is Everest.
Let me see if I can get that right. Hold on. Okay, Everest. Yeah.
Loche,
Yeah.
Loche Shar,
Yeah.
Amadablam,
Okay.
Khangtega,
Let's see now. Anadablan. Anadablan. Yeah.
Amadablam. Then this come over here is Khangtega.
Okay.
Then go behind there is Thamsherku.
Okay, let's go back. So we'll go back to Anadablan.
Amadablam,
Yeah.
Loche Shar,
Yeah.
Loche.
Loche. The dark one.
Dark one is the pointed dark one is Loche.
Loche.
Then far and big rock is Everest.
Right.
Then front of Everest is Nupche.
Yeah.
Then Tauche.
Yeah.
Sino one. Then Kumbila.
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 oh, look at that.
Okay. There's Kumbila.
How you feeling?
Okay, and that's the one that Hillary likes to climb when he comes
Yes.
back here for exercise.
Yes.
Kumbila.
Kumbila.
Oh, this is a spectacular panorama. Just spectacular. And that's Everest.
Sagmartha.
Sagarmatha. Chumolongma.
Sagarmatha?
Sagarmatha.
Sagarmatha.
And Chumolongma in Tibetan language. Chumolongma.
And the one with the snow coming off the top is
Tauche.
Dauche. Right in the center of the picture there is a little hill on which is a monastery. We'll visit the monastery in a day or two at Degboche. And it's right below, oh, it's in the valley that leads to Everest and to Kala Pattar. And you can see where it is located relative to the other big mountains around here. Everest is off to the top right. Everest is off to the top left, not the top right. There's Everest. And this is the airport at Changboche. The airport isn't used very much for airplanes anymore on a regular basis. It's used only for helicopters. Helicopters come from Kathmandu, or from Lukla. And they come bringing tourists, mostly Japanese tourists, who are paying $200 a night to stay at this lodge, which is called the Everest View.
And Sangwoods.
Sangbuche. There's another, there are two up here. One is Sangbuche and one is Everest View. And the view, well, we'll see, the view from there will be great. And across is this mountain.
Tom Circle.
Tom Circle. Huge mountain. And we hear some airplanes in the background, but I don't know, can you see them, Binod?
No, I can't see.
Down the valley is Lukla. This is where we came from. Below us is Namche, and it's so steep here we can't see Namche at all. And over here, this beautiful big mountain is, what's the name of this one?
Kwangde.
Kombe. And this goes up the Tame Valley to Tame. Well, we're right here at the Shangboche Panorama Hotel. Well named, as you can see. Just breathtaking panoramic view. Here's some more pictures of these mountains that are surrounding us. That's Anadablan. And we were told that if you look closely, you can see on the bottom of the triangle of the snow area a dark spot, which is a tent of a man who's climbing there right now. Shit. Whoops. Okay, here we are at the top of Abadablan, and at the very base in this valley you can start to see, or you can see, a monastery. We'll be climbing there tomorrow. The trail that goes from the monastery to the right down is what we're going to be using. And here's a bit of the monastery. From the outside of the Jangbuchi Hotel, we can see the hill where I took the pictures this morning of the sunrise. Our hotel is just beyond where you can see it. You can just barely see the roof to the right in the center. And if you want to see where we came from yesterday, there's the river.
All the way.
All the way. Way down there. What's the name of the river?
Dudkosi.
The Dudkosi. I don't know if I can see any of the suspension bridges down there. There's Gail taking a picture of Namche, where we came from this morning. We're halfway down from a nice lunch up in Jamboche. And our hotel, now we can see it right there, the red and the blue roof with what looks like an airplane on one of them. Here are some trekkers on the hill, some on the way down. As you can see, this is pretty steep. Starting day 4. Spent 2 nights here. This is we're gonna go home. Oh, I gotta go home. We're gonna keep going on today. It's Gail. Some of the other people here. How do you feel today, Gail?
I feel great. Just get my sunglasses.
Okay. We're getting our stuff together. Here's some of the local children. Hello. Namaste. This is a typical tea house on the trekking route. And you can see what it looks like. A lot of these people sitting around are the porters. There's our porter and our guide. Bino! Bino! Yay! Here's an unusual prayer wheel that we haven't seen before. It's spinning around, sending prayers off into the sky, and it's being powered by a creek, by water being diverted under it. And you can see the water right here. And here's another one. I guess they have a lot of prayers being thrown to the wind. And just in case you're interested in the facilities here, this is a prayer shack. I guess on one side the prayer wheel is turning, the other side is being used for other purposes. Here's some of the livestock. Everything is happening here. Trekkers, livestock, food. We're here starting our 5th or maybe 6th day on our trek with one of the greatest room views that we've ever had. And in the distance you can see the trail that we've taken. And if we zoom carefully, we may see some of the places that we were in Namche. Namche. This is very close to where the hotel was that we had our lunch, and also an army base. Although this view is great, the room, on the other hand, is somewhat less spectacular. I can barely get to see what's here. It's all emptied out now. It lacks some of the... Here's Gail. There's a beautiful view out the door. If you walk out here, you can walk actually into oblivion. On the other hand, if you have to do anything in the middle of the night and you don't want to go too far, well, it's very convenient.
The note is waiting for us.
Our guide is waiting, I'm told.
It's already 9. We've got a place to stay tonight.
Okay, well, I'm going to make this fast then. This is Bangboche Monastery we visited. Now we have another 6 hours of trekking today, and we're getting closer and closer to Kala Pattar, our goal. A little bit, just a little bit more here of the spectacular views of our lodge. You can see the fine roof finishing here, tin roof, and the well-kept backyard. Oh, one other thing one other thing that we can't miss is the hot shower. And here it is.
But they're on top.
And what happens is that they get someone to bring some hot water, they climb up a ladder, and they put it in that tub on the top. You get inside, they open the faucet, and you work like crazy. This is another sequence on our room, because I think that I didn't have it focused well, but you can see there's not too much of it. Sixth day of the trek, and we're halfway, or actually more than halfway, to Chitwan, and it's getting colder, and we're in some beautiful country. This has been going uphill for the whole time. The view here is gorgeous. It's just spectacular. This is Sam. Okay, Pino, how do you think we're doing?
Yeah, you okay? You'll be Kala Pattar.
Kala Pattar.
Yeah,
What's our altitude right now?
we're on like
3,700 meters, which is about almost 12, 11 and a half, 12,
like
14. Are we having fun?
Sure.
Do you want to divorce me yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Maybe after Kala Pattar.
After Kala Pattar, huh? Okay. Here are some of our friends we met, the famous trekking bunny and the climbing guide from Georgetown. I didn't ask you why you became a guide. It's a lot easier than working for a living.
Well, I don't know about that. It's pretty hard work.
Did he make you drink your 6 quarts of water yet?
Yes.
That's good.
I became a guide because I meet a lot of trekking bunnies.
Oh, you're a trekking bunny magnet. Now from over here you can see some heroes brought their snowboards up here and took advantage of the snow. There was a big dump here about, pardon me?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, and it was about three.
Okay, that's 1 liter. Plus 2 cups of tea.
Oh, here we see some trail from snowboard. Brought their boards up here to board amongst this absolutely beautiful environment. Let's see. Okay, here comes Gail across one of these rocky streams. She's become a pro at this. This is an easy one. And she hasn't fallen in what? Ta-da! Now look at this stream. Mountain stream from one of the glaciers. On the beginning of our 8th day of our trek, 16,200 feet at the Sagamatha National Park Labuche Lodge. It was a very, very difficult hike up here yesterday. It's a combination of the altitude and maybe a little bit of altitude sickness, but we made it. Labuche is a very important stopping off point for trekkers going on to Kala Pattar. And about 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago, this area was filled with tents. So how do you feel this morning? This is the first night you had a good night's sleep?
I feel great, ready to go.
What's our next stop?
Where are we going? Gorak.
How long?
4 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours unless you got me dragging.
Go pack up and let's get going.
Hours?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Because of David, right?
Because of me. Here's some of Baynod's friends. Baynod has friends everywhere. And they're the beautiful mountains.
Labuche Peak.
That's Labuche Peak.
Yeah.
Anything else famous around here?
No.
No.
The top, only the Pumori over there.
And back of me here, opposite Labuche Lodge, Nupchi. And that little point there is Pumori?
No, this side, this side.
Where? Oh, there. That's Pumori.
Tomorrow we can see clear from Kala Pattar.
And Kala Pattar is a bump on the side of Pumori, as I recall. So we're getting closer. So tonight we'll stay in Gorak, get some energy, we hope, and run up Kala Pattar tomorrow.
At 6.
6 in the morning we're going to start. That's what the plan is. This is the dining room of the Labuche Lodge. Also serves as a sleeping quarters in the evening. Labuche Lodge kitchen. And sleeping quarters. Note the finely finished floor. And note the beautiful presidential suite that we slept in last night. Again, notice the beautiful, fine, handcrafted floors. Okay, here we are. Beginning of day 9. Gorak. And in front of us is our goal, the top of Kala Pattar.
But you're taking this?
Yeah.
That one is the Kala Pattar.
Oh, that's halfway up. That's Kala Pattar. Thank you very much. That's Kala Pattar on the top. It's about 1,500 feet from here. It'll bring us to about 18,500 feet.
You can see 2 people up, about halfway up.
And above it is the main mountain, Pumori. And I think Amadablan, is that it in back?
No.
It's
Behind us.
behind us. Oh, that's right. Anyway, if we make that,
We can see small peak of Everest over there.
we're
Yeah.
in back of us. We can see Everest if we look closely. Okay.
This one in between the 2 peaks. You see that rocky?
Yeah, there's Everest.
Yeah. We will see clear from Kala Pattar.
There's the tea house where we started this morning. About an hour or so. We're huffing and puffing.
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And you can see where we've come. That black line snaking up the mountain is where we are right now. Leads us right to where we are.
Some people off to the left.
And we're climbing in absolutely the most spectacular environment we've ever climbed in. Here we have Gail and Pamori.
Jalal.
And what?
Jalal.
Where's Jalal? No, Pamori is a mountain.
No, it's-
Ding-a-ling. And Jalal is behind the ding-a-ling. And
AMS.
the rocks at the top are where we're going. You can see this beautiful panorama.
Doesn't look like much, but we're at 18,000 feet. Looks like a little hill.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Much better than I thought I'd be.
Yeah, we're doing it one step at a time.
Really?
Lots of rests. But now, when we started this morning, it was cold and really cold. We put on so much clothing that we had to...
I'm ready to take off my fleece.
Yeah, we're undressing up here. It's really great. It's going from our body to the packs. Well, next time, probably we'll be shooting from the top. Well, we made it to the top of Kala Pattar in a relatively reasonable amount of time. Absolutely difficult all the way around. What I was focusing on before was Everest. And this is a ridge coming down from Pamori. That's Pamori. And this is Kala Pattar. A lot of people up here. Some have left already. And Gail is over here relaxing with our staff. Anything to say, folks? Was it easy or hard, Gail?
It was tough. It was tough.
It could have been worse.
Easier than I expected.
It could have been cold.
Based on what my kid said, I was really expecting a lot worse.
Yeah.
He said he gasped the last.
And you didn't gasp. You were
No,
just
I just
you were just jumping from rock to rock.
It's tough.
It was very tough. This is one of the toughest days we've had.
I don't know. I think the Hampshire was harder.
Yeah, what do you think? Did we do all right?
Yeah.
I think you had a harder day going up to the Buche.
Oh, well, I was sick.
You were wiped out.
That's right. I think when it's on, I see a light.
You just press the red button to turn it on.
It should be on standby. Just press this. Then when it's on standby, you press it. That.
Because you look very dark.
Huh?
You look very dark.
I look dark?
Yeah. Okay. It's.
Hit the red button again. This is more of Everest. And to the right is Nuptse. And this is more of the valley. We came from way down there. More people coming up all the time. It's amazing because it's very difficult. And people just keep coming and coming and coming. This is more of the valley. I think I'm looking west now. It's another valley actually. And I'm just overwhelmed with the beauty and the scale of the Himalayas. These flags are prayer flags. The wind blows the prayers to the sky, according to the Buddhists. This trek is about ready to go down. It's difficult to capture on tape the difficulty of this climb. It was very steep, and the top just drops off here. And the last 100 yards or so was scampering over rocks, and it was worse than we've ever done before. And we were tired. It was a real challenge, and we're really pleased to have made it, and very proud of ourselves. Just gorgeous. Here's some more of the scene up here. Okay, now you started. Where are you from?
South Africa.
South Africa. It's a good day?
It is.
Bigger than anything you have in South Africa.
Slightly. But at least.
We spent yesterday came down from climbing. Oh, actually, we spent the rest day after climbing Kala Pattar, and today we're going. We just came from Ferice, and we're going to Pengboche. Now, crossing this nice bridge now is the ever brave Gail. Notice a bounce in her step. Give us a big wave if you can remember, sweetheart. Hey, there she goes. What a star! What a star. Now this is quite a bridge, as you can see. This is not one of the best bridges. This looks like one of the local talent bridges. The Swiss have put up great bridges that look very secure. Now we have to go all the way up there, and over the ridge somewhere is our next tea house. We're surviving pretty well, pretty healthy, all things considered. I'm a Dublin in the background. A little, still fighting the sleep challenge, but we're having a great time. And we're on a trail that's taking us from Pengboche to Namche. We're doing pretty well today, not too many pains. This little trail is quite busy with both trekkers and porters. The mountain range in front of us is, what is it, Beno?
Conde.
Quande. Quande. And the river below is a glacial river fed by glaciers up this valley. Gail, you have any comments today?
Nope.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
Feel great. Sleep?
None.
None.
0 for 12 days.
12 days we're having crummy sleep, but full of energy.
But I feel great.
Okay.
And now that David's asked me how I was doing, I'm asking him how he's doing today.
Gorgeous. This is great. I feel great. We're a little tired, but the thrill of being up here at, I don't know, 10, 12, 14,000 feet, seeing all these beautiful mountains, surrounded by these mountains, is fantastic.
Notice the spectacular face.
A dream. It's a dream.
Look at that face. Is that perfect or not?
Yeah, I got a little bit of, I don't think I shaved
12
this morning.
days of scrub.
I don't think I shaved. Now, if you wanted to, I could show you what the handkerchiefs look like.
Okay, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to shut it off.
You're going to shut it off? You want to get into the laundry business?
Right, this is the 13th day of our trip. We're standing on a hill above Namche.
Can you see me?
Can see David.
Here I am.
David's in a good mood. We're leaving at about 9:30. We're going to go down and take some pictures of the village. What's the matter?
Are you practicing or taking?
No, I'm taking. I'm not doing it.
The beginning of our 13th day of the trek. We're in Namche Bazaar. In fact, you can actually see A little bit of a bazaar going on right in the center of the picture. We don't know what's going on down there. It looks like they're buying and selling. And you can get a gorgeous image of a picture of what Namche looks like, which we may have seen before. Mountains in the background, and this is a clothesline that I can't get out of the picture. That's right, and the surrounding mountain. We spent last night here, and I have to say we had the best night's sleep. And also, this is probably one of the nicest tea houses we've been in. And it was a pleasure. The highlight definitely was the hot shower. Here's the instructions on the shower business. You have to order the shower 30 minutes before, and they chase you out if you take up too much time. The showers and bathrooms here are actually pretty nice. This is a class act. We're going to take a little walk down to Namche before we head down towards our next stop. And we're going to try to go down to this little area and take some more shots so we can bring back a better impression of Namche. They say that if you want to, you can outfit an entire expedition for mountain climbing from the shops that are down here.
It's kind of like
This is the sort of shopping area, including a German bakery, which had pretty good stuff. We had it last night. There's a general store. Camping supplies. Nice selection of woolen mittens and hats. Not too much activity so far. Maybe it's a bit early. Here's a nice selection of bells. If you want to start your own yak herd. Now she's the one who was telling me the yak bell is a yak horn, and now she's going to try to sell Gail something. I don't know. And she wanted me to take a picture of her friend here working on the hats. They're brushing, and I think those cost about 150 rupees, maybe $2. We have to meet Binod here.
Now.
And now, there he is. He's waiting for us. We have a couple minutes, Binod?
Yeah.
Thank you. Now they're doing the yak wool. Making yak wool. That's good. And you can use that to make hats. Okay. And here you get anything you want. Salon de thé, pâtisserie, boulangerie. And over here is the menu. This is very busy last night. More yak horns, woolen camping supplies. This is the Hotel Tibet Namche Bazaar, and tells you everything they have here. Telephone service, warm hospitality, hot shower from back boiler. Telephone service. So why don't you step in here? This Hotel Tibet is the old footrest building. We're leaving the tourist market now. We're going to go towards the bazaar we saw, which is a Tibetan market. And to go there, we're going to go past the local stupa. Here's the market. Now you can see there are no tourists, or not very many tourists here. And selling a lot of household items. It looks like textiles, that type of thing, carpets. We'll take a closer look now. There are all sorts of jackets, clothing, pants. There's a selection of carpets. Here's some dried sheep meat this man is selling. Where's it from?
Tibet.
It came all the way from Tibet?
Yes.
Did you come from Tibet?
Tibet, yes.
This week? I was talking to some of the people here. They come down from Tibet about every couple of weeks. They bring Chinese-made items. They stay here for a couple of weeks, and they try to sell as much as they can. What we have here is yak cheese, dried yak cheese. This fellow is selling. Well, we're going to leave the Tibetan market now and make our way down to Phak Ting for our next to last night up here in the Himalayas. There's an abundance of water here, hence there are two things. One, there's a lot of washing going on.
This called Washington.
And it's called Washington, according to Ben. Is that right, Bino? Washington.
Yeah.
In addition, they use the flowing water to run prayer wheels. There's a prayer wheel house, and there's a prayer wheel going like crazy. Day 14 of our trek. We've made it back to Lukla. It was a nice, easy day, about 4 hours. We were jumping up and down those, running up and down those hills. And now we're going to spend the night in Lukla. Not one of the highlights of... Oh, look who's here. Not one of the highlights of the country, but it's home for tonight and tomorrow morning. We get a plane out of here. We're in a little shop in Lukla where I was fortunate enough to find a clean, a t-shirt and some underwear. I'm set now. All the rest of our clothing is either in the laundry bag or in the toxic waste section. Here's a nice combination of clothes and every size carpet you want. The shopping center of Lukla. Not only clothes and carpet, but hiking shoes. Well, there's our porter just passed by. Yeah, this is downtown Lukla, hot area here. We got some yaks, tourists, porters. And these guys, I think, are coming right at me. Here's the local shoemaker, shoe repair business. There's another fellow back there also working. This is a pretty interesting site. This is the airport. The airport is inactive now because of the clouds, and I think it's too late. planes come in here and they go up this hill with full throttle reverse, and before they smash into the hill here, they turn around, or they turn right into this area. At this moment, there's all kinds of other activity here on the tarmac, so to speak. There's a cow that wandered by, and his buddy in his background. Then all kinds of cargo that was delivered today is being unloaded. Beer, I guess that's rice, Coca-Cola. I think this guy is in charge of landing. He has a little radio. He's chasing the cows off just in case there's another plane decides to try to land here. This is a cute little addition onto the sign. A little bumper sticker. Mad River Glen, ski it if you can. That's in Vermont. Someone has a good... Here we are, last day of our trek. And we're waiting for our plane to come in. There's a big Russian helicopter that just came in, and they're unloading cargo now. Planes landing here have to come up this runway, throw their propellers into reverse, and stop before hitting this wall. Here's another example of a takeoff. It's like a slingshot, and here comes a plane in for landing.
Hello.
Just a moment. We're back in Kathmandu for a day, and we're spending a few minutes walking around Tamil now. Here's our embroidery specialist. What are you selling? Is that Tiger Balm?
Tiger Balm.
Is it good?
Yes.
Where'd you pick up the funky hat?
I got this in California.
And regular price. How much?
Tell me your name.
Short plane ride from Kathmandu, and we're here at the Chitwan National Park. This is the beginning. I guess it's our first post-trek day. We've come from 10,000 feet above sea level to about sea level, and we're in a jungle-like environment. And we're going to stay here for a couple of days. It's quite lush and quite nice, and we plan on seeing lots of wild animals. We've already seen elephants working in the fields and also walking in the street. Right next to the river that separates us from the national park, there's this nice little place to have a drink and get something to eat. The soft drinks are being delivered here by this charming old truck. Coke and Sprite. Truly Nepalese great creations. And Fanta. We're looking across the river now at some men dug out canoes. Nice sunset. This is the dynamic crossroads of the town here, Swaraha. We're getting a special treat tonight. The indigenous people here, the Taru, are putting on a dance demonstration.
That Nepal is a very small country with a great cultural variation, which contains, all different cultures in all different kinds of region of Nepal. And likewise, the other tribes which are still existing in Nepal, the lowland people known as the Taru, have also developed own lifestyle, own tradition, and own culture. object, and it will be performed with the help of these two short sticks. And it is also called or known as the harvesting dance. Well, the reason of calling it very obvious, because it is performed on the occasion of harvesting festival, especially after harvesting the rice crop. All nicely made with the help of a small wooden frame, a dry goat skin, and beautiful peacock feather on it. Well, as you know that the Thar people are religious-minded people and somehow fond of merrymaking and enjoyment. Hence, more than 8 different festivals are observed, and this temple dance is performed on the occasion of Holy Festival, also known as the Kala Festival, which is one of the greatest festivals of Hindu people and one of the major festivals of the Tharu people. And that festival fall in the full moon of March. And in Tharu language, and it's nicely made again with one small piece of wooden frame and lots of pieces of wasted tin. And this dance is apparently performed in the Tharu society on the various ritual occasions or events like marriage ceremony, birthday party, and at the end of the funeral day. And it is also called invitation dance. So that means you will also be invited by the dancer too. Well, if you find convenient, and that if you also think that you are also part of the Tharu culture, you may participate with them and enjoy yourself.
Second post-trek day, bird watching and trying to find rhinoceros. We're with a small group of people, and we think we've got our eye on we think we have our eye on a rhinoceros. There he is. There's a rhino. He's in the water. There were two of them there. He's moving around. It's a black rhino.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
There's the two rhinos. I'm using a high digital zoom now. We can see him. There's a lot of jitter in my hands. There's a croc.
Yes. She's flying away. That's a purple heron.
That's a purple.
It's huge. She's huge.
It's getting out of the water. Have a look.
Mother and baby.
You see them now, David, looking
Sure. I got them in my camera.
Diana's going to lose him and get him.
She's looking over, the mother's looking over here.
I'll try to get the mother up. She may be getting up.
I'm fishing here. And get
What is this bird coming across right towards us?
which one?
He's soaring. He's
Coming right at us.
Where?
With it right here.
Oh, that,
The orange beak.
yes. It is. See.
Oh, beautiful.
lost him. We're at our guide's house, and we just came from buying a duck for dinner. And we're not so sure how happy his wife is to the idea of getting the duck ready for us. But he promised a multi-course duck dinner. There's the, there's the main attraction. The alternatives, I guess, were the goats here, and the water buffalo, and so forth. But the duck is very attractive. Well, we're on a 30-minute ride, ox cart ride. We're going to go down the river here in a canoe and see some elephant husbandry. Gobina?
Yes,
We're going to have a good time?
I hope.
So just drying it maybe?
We're here on the river with Gobina. Saw a couple of beautiful birds and crocodile. Anything more we're going to see, Gobina?
Well,
Let's hope.
let's hope.
This is known as a crocodile house. There's a nice little crocodile, relaxing.
Little one.
Our canoe is leaving. A couple more coming right at us.
Very nice.
Elephant polo.
Oh, come back. Again, 11 have fun. Look at that. Yoo-hoo. Woo.
You think the elephants know what's going on?
As we came to the elephant breeding center. chicken now.
कत्ता क्यारे दिन लाउनु पर्यो यिनीहरूलाई कत्ता बनाउनु यहीँ छ नि
There's a little package of goodies. The elephant gets into its mouth. The wrapping is pulled off and sucks out the filling. Now she's sort of grinding it. In a little while she'll suck out all the grass, leaving the goodies, which are rice and some honey or something inside. Gobina. So how long is it going to take for the roast in this curry?
Well, about half an hour.
Half hour, that's all?
Yes.
That's great, that's great.
I mean the roast one.
The roast, and how about the curry? There's the dining room. And the kitchen's right behind there.
Take care of your fingers. I don't like human fingers to eat. You don't like it?
Some sleeping back here. So you're really doing a good job on this. Third day post trek on an elephant safari ride to the marabou stalk. Here's a rhino on schedule.
And this is male.
It's a male?
Yeah.
How old is he?
This one about near 25.
25.
Yeah.
Can you tell their names? Do you know who they are?
Rhino?
Well, from the animals in the area. Have you seen him before?
No. Yeah, but we say from horns, we say buche. We calling buche rhino.
Buche.
Yeah, because they have horn is so small.
Small horn.
Yeah, small. In Nepali we say buche rhino. This baby about 1.5 months.
She's protecting their baby.
Yeah.
There's the baby.
Isn't that cute? What a lovable little thing.
Yeah, about
Oh, he's so cute.
1.5 months.
What kind of deer is that?
The sambar deer.
Sambar deer.
यसरी गर
Hold on.
गर नमस्ते गर
Namaste.
नमस्ते
This is our last day at Sawaraho, Chitwan National Park. In about an hour or so, we'll take off for the airport, take us back to Kathmandu. And our last day, last bit of frenetic shopping. This is a beautiful, relaxing 3 days here. There's our cabin or room. It was very nice. Station. In a certain way, this room is similar to our place in Labuche, 2 beds and a floor, but this had some other nice features, like indoor plumbing, marble floors, and actually it only cost about 5 times as much, a whopping $20. Okay, we're here in the terminal. We're about ready to leave Kathmandu. Gail has no money, but she's still out there shopping.
I'm still finding things.
Yeah, she is. There she is. We got our lay. Half the airport is looking at us as if we're crazy, but who cares, right? You don't care. He's smiling. We don't care. We spent a pile of money buying all sorts of things in the last day or 2. We've decided this is a great vacation, right? We had a great time, a couple of good surprises. Tamo was one good surprise, and Chitwan was another good surprise, and definitely we're very pleased with ourselves, having been able to get to Kala Pattar and back without too many hardships. So this may be the last bit of recording we'll do. It was a good vacation. It's pretty smoggy, foggy here, and that's typical of the whole city. It stinks and is dirty and filled with all sorts of pollution. We're banking now. We can see the Himalayas off in the distance. We've cleared this smoggy Kathmandu Valley, and we're getting an area over that is mostly agricultural, and we've flown over this a couple of times already. And it's impressive to see the amount of sculpting of the fields in the very steep areas that allow the farmers to get some flat farming areas right above, right at the very top of the